Peer practice exchange has the potential to make us feel liberated, energised, enthused, braver in our teaching practice. Peer practice exchange is one of the most important things you can do to enhance your own practice and that of your colleagues. It involves going into learning and teaching spaces and entering into a meaningful dialogue with colleagues. It's about your own learning and that of others, and ultimately improving the student experience. The advice that I would give pre-observation is to sit down, the pair of you, and decide what you want to get out of it together. You know, this is a collaboration, so you, an observer, might be looking to learn something about a particular teaching practice. As an observee, you'd be welcoming feedback on a particular area which you might want to develop further, or you're struggling with, and either is absolutely fine. But the critical thing is having a clear sense of purpose and negotiating the outcomes. Secondly, it's considering how do you explain the presence of an observer to the students, because what you don't want them to think is they're there in a punitive way. Taking notes is good. I would advise against using a laptop or any other device because that makes it look very official. When you're being observed, you can feel self-conscious, and that's normal. The advice would be just to forget the observer is there and just do what you would normally do, because remember, it's a democratic process and that person comes in peace and to help you. After the peer practice exchange, and this is a really important bit, it's about making the time to sit down together. Won't necessarily be immediately after the session because we're all busy, and that's okay. But it is making that time, and my suggestion is, you know, between 30 and 60 minutes is good. Talk about how it felt to be observed, the kinds of things that came out of the session for the observee, for the observer. It's focusing on the areas identified by the observee or what they were interested in learning more about. Remember, it's dialogic, and from that emerges an action plan, whether that's things that you take as affirmation of your teaching methodologies being really effective, or it's how can this be extended, how could I do it differently, how could I do it better, and what have I learned about myself. So what I love about peer practice exchange, it's about developing self, it's about developing others, it's about raising our game, it's about thinking about the student experience differently, and it is an affirming, emancipatory, democratic process.